This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, hunters around the country are polishing their guns ahead of duck shooting season beginning on Saturday. All Black outside back Ben Smith is set to return to a settled Highlanders lineup for their match this weekend. And fire crews battle a blaze which engulfed a home at Waitati this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. Hunters around the country are polishing their guns and preparing their mai in preparation of duck shooting season, which begins on Saturday. However, one of the most crucial elements is mastering the various duck calls to lure the birds within range.
Practising game bird calls at New River Estuary near Invercargill. Corey Carston is ready for the start of duck hunting season on Saturday. He's got a number of different calls on hand for the various birds he might end up bagging over the weekend.
This is of goose call. This is actually made by some friends of mine in New Zealand. They're just starting to get established. It's called a season call. This is my go-to call. It's a double reed zinc call.
Carston has mastered the various types of calls required for different situations.
If they're in the distance, I do as loud as possible and to get them attention, especially in the wind. If they are a bit cagey, I sort of draw out the notes a wee bit and just make it a bit, sort of a lonesome hen call, I guess they call it, but it works for me. It's sort of...
And there's a call for ducks on the water or feeding. And hunting Canada geese is open all year round. Hunters have been getting their favourite spots ready in places such as the Waituna Lagoon and New River Estuary.
The blobs out there, they're all mai-mais, so that's where actually some of them are my friends that actually hunt out there.
In Southland, bag limits are 15 for mallard and grey ducks in the first weekend, dropping to 10 on Monday, and 6 for paradise shelduck, although some hunters avoid shooting these because they mate for life. In Invercargill, for The South Today.
A video has emerged showing pupils allegedly beating 2 boys from the same Invercargill school in a violent assault. And a warning, the following video contains graphic content which some may find disturbing. The incident happened on Monday after school and was filmed by another student, then sent to one of the victims. It shows Aurora College boys punching and kicking 2 pupils who don't fight back. Other Aurora College students can be seen crowding around, watching and giggling during the attack, which happened on Tramway Road. A mother of one of the victims told the New Zealand Herald it's the 5th time her 14-year-old son has been targeted in an attack, and comment is being sought from the school. All Black outside back Ben Smith is set to return to a settled Highlanders lineup for their match against the Chiefs at Forsyth Bar Stadium in Dunedin on Saturday night. Smith was on a scheduled rest last week, and his presence at the back should lift the solid-looking Highlanders side.
The benefit of back-to-back wins has seen the Highlanders coaching staff name a settled side to take on the Chiefs this weekend. There are no changes in the pack, while in the backs the only change is the return of Ben Smith, pushing Matt Faddis to the right wing and Theo Tompkinson to the bench. Assistant coach Mark Hammett says their run of 5 straight losses earlier in the season put them under pressure.
We're desperate, so yeah, a lot of that then means we have to get our best sides, our best players out on the park, so that's just a reality of where we're at.
The forwards have been rewarded for a dominant effort against the Sunwolves and some consistent form this season, especially at set piece.
It's probably an area of growth for us from probably looking last year, and certainly we've had players and the coaches step right up in that area, and it's paying some dividends for us.
There's also been more of an emphasis on offloads at training.
Full credit to the coaches coming up with the drills. Hammer and Derms have put a lot of emphasis into coming up with some innovative ideas, and the boys went out and implemented it. I think Tom Franklin in that first 20 had a few offloads, and seeing guys like him express themselves, Tara Lomax, Liam Coltman, all like that, it makes our jobs as backs so much easier to keep hitting the game line.
A big crowd's expected at Forsyth Bar Stadium on Saturday night, with both teams' seasons hanging in the balance. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A 24-year-old man has died after succumbing to his injuries sustained when he crashed his motorcycle into a power pole at Otaratara in Invercargill last night. Police and ambulance attended the crash on Watt Road at around 10 p.m. The serious crash unit conducted a scene examination and motorists were asked by police to avoid the area. Inquiries into the crash are ongoing. Fire crews are battling a blaze which engulfed a home in Waitati this afternoon. 6 fire appliances are fighting the fire on Orokonui Road just north of Dunedin. Fire and Emergency New Zealand say the fire was reported to them just before 2 this afternoon, with the home fully involved in flames. Volunteer crews from Waitati, Waikuaiti and Palmerston were on the scene, along with 3 appliances from Dunedin City. Fire and Emergency say there's no reports of injuries and no one was trapped inside. Still to come on the South Today, we have the latest instalment of Rugby Chat with Paul Dwyer, looking at the Southern Club rugby scene. We'll see you after the break.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
No mai anō, welcome back. Police wastewater testing reveals Queenstown and Dunedin have a higher proportion of MDMA or ecstasy use than anywhere else in the country. Police have released results from the first 3 months of their national wastewater testing program. Wastewater was tested for methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, MDMA and fentanyl. The testing found the Southern District has the lowest prevalence per capita of methamphetamine in the country, but the second highest of MDMA behind Canterbury. But down the road in Invercargill, the prevalence of methamphetamine among the 5 other drugs tested is 82%. Round 7 of Dunedin's Premier Club rugby season is set to get underway on Saturday, with no unbeaten sides left after last weekend. In this week's edition of ODT Rugby Chat, correspondent Paul Dwyer takes a look at the matchups with Kaikorai players Slade McDowell and Ben Miller.
And boys, look, we're going to move on to the games this weekend, but there's still a couple of things I need to ask you. So have either of you boys had the call from Ryan Martin yet over in Singapore?
I can't say I have.
What about you, Slade? You must be close.
Nah. Old Marlos has got a good ship running over there, I think.
I hear there's another couple of boys left this week. You heard about that? I hear Kilapati Lee may have gone from varsity and Big Abraham T-Pole could have gone from Harbour.
Right, yeah.
So what do you got? I mean, have you watched any of these games over there yet?
I watched a couple.
Are you like me? I wrote about this last week. I thought the standard was absolutely deplorable. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first thing I was a bit surprised at the standard that the footy was over there. I guess it's still sort of in its foundation year and still lots of players from different sort of backgrounds and whatnot joining together. So I guess it's one of those things that just may take some time to sort of take off.
Yeah, like I'm struggling with it. And what do you think? I mean, Slade, it's a tough one for you because you're in the Otago setup, I know that, but will it be doing much for their rugby?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I suppose it's probably, a few different rules here and there. Probably just adjusting to that. But, they're probably getting over there, getting a good experience and
getting some coin.
Yeah, I think probably they'll come back in probably some pretty good shape and leading into.
Not what I'm hearing. I hear there's some massive booze ups going on. But look, I won't go too much into that. Okay, so look, we'll come on to just quickly. Look, I've been writing a piece in my column over the last few weeks about RSCN from your club, just an absolute superstar as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Look, you must love this man. He causes controversy every week up there, doesn't he?
Oh, I guess he's a bit of a legend for the club. He's out there in his own time, paints all the club rooms, keeps everything sort of in tip-top shape. So can't really say a bad word about the bloke.
Right. Look, I think he's. I think you're right. I tend to agree. I think he's great for your club. He's got a gruff guy, as we know, but he's got rugby at heart, isn't he? Yeah. I've got another couple of good stories, but I won't share them today because I'll run those on Friday in the paper. So look, let's move on to the games this weekend. So Slade, we'll start with you. Zingers and GI.
Yeah, I mean, Zingers probably trucking along probably better than usual years, but GI is probably quite a strong outfit.
And beat Southern last week. That was a big upset.
Yeah, I think that's a huge upset, especially in the wet as well, with a big Southern 4-pack. So probably got GI.
Okay, Varsity and Dunedin.
Varsity.
I can't believe you take them there. But again, they're starting to hit their straps as well.
Well, their Varsity scrum
is
unbelievable. That destroyed our scrum that day. We paid them, and they're getting all their boys back, and Roy's now back at the helm. So. Honestly,
with Rugby Roy back in charge, one of your old coaches. Back to you, Harbour and Southern. That's probably the hardest game of the round to pick, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's probably a tough one. I suppose that'll probably be the match of the round.
Come on, get off the fence.
Probably have to go Southern there.
You go Southern down there.
Big 4-pack, yeah.
Big call. And then Kite versus Torrey. Torrey travelling okay. They've had a couple of losses though. They've lost to. Who have they lost to? They've lost to... Varsity gave them a good pumping.
They lost to Harbour.
And they've lost to Harbour as well. So they're only going okay. Reasonable forward pack though.
Yeah.
And Matt Wong are leading that back line. So so you boys playing at home though?
Yeah, we're up at Bishop's Court for I think our third game this year. So hopefully we'll come away with the chocolates.
There it is. Right, look, just my take on those games to finish. Zingaree versus GI. Like I don't see. I'm hearing Zingaree running out of front rowers rapidly. So GI far too strong there, 13 plus. Varsity Dunedin, they could win by 100. Varsity, but I'll take Dunedin. I don't know why. Harbour versus Southern. I think even with a hooker out, I think Harbour at home, possibly more all-round strength than Southern. So I'm going to tip a Harbour victory. And Kite versus Torrey. Yeah, Kite hitting their straps. I think they're 13 plus. They should be easy up there. And we'll be back again with you next week.
And you can see the full 12-minute interview on Rugby Chat at the ODT online. After the break on the South Today, we meet an Ashburton model train enthusiast who's opening up his backyard railway for a good cause, and we check out the weather heading into the weekend.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
The Green Island Medical Centre offers everything for your family's needs. Whether you are travelling or coming in to discuss health symptoms, our medical staff provide the best of care. We offer Manage My Health, making booking an appointment or requesting a repeat prescription a breeze. We welcome families like yours. Give us a call today, phone 03 488 2754.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garradoor to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garradoor keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Autumn is here and it's too late to sow seed. But don't despair, Ready Lawn is the answer to all your garden woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 027 22 88 190.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Ricky here from Beds R Us Dunedin, your local sleep specialists. Come in and try our huge touchscreen sleep selector, taking the hard work out of choosing the right bed for you. See you here.
Thanks for staying with us. A woman is lucky to be alive after being struck by a tractor on a pedestrian crossing in Mosgiel this morning. Police say she was crossing Gordon Road when she was hit by a front-end loader. The woman was taken to Dunedin Hospital with head, neck and shoulder injuries, but witnesses say she gave a thumbs-up gesture while she was being loaded into an ambulance. The serious crash unit has been called to investigate. An Ashburton model railway enthusiast is opening up his manshed station, showcasing his extensive collection of trains and memorabilia. It's part of Ashburton's Wheel Week Plus program, showcasing wheels of all kinds, and he's raising funds for charity. He drives the train a-comin', rollin' round the bend, But Kerry Patterson's Ashburton backyard is a long way from Folsom Prison. His railway is 1 to 24 scale modelling, running around over 100 metres of track. He's opening up his backyard as a school fundraiser with a twist.
We are fundraising for a primary school over in the Philippines, the Balamban Primary School in Mahayag.
Patterson's large garden shed is packed with trains, memorabilia, models and track, and is sometimes referred to as Kerry's man cave. He says the funds raised are earmarked for essential school supplies.
The cause is basically fundraising for the first year students' stationery needs to help them have a good start in their career.
Patterson gained his traction engine steam ticket a number of years ago, but these days is happy to collect, build and run his trains at home. His fascination with model railways began as a 2-year-old, and he says it runs in the family.
We have 110 metres of track running around the backyard. It goes through the shed that we were in just before, and my wife does the gardening, and anything gets in the way, I do the pruning.
He's built a number of scale models over the years and builds from scratch using recycled materials. The fundraising open weekend is set to take place May 11th and 12th in Ashburton, the South Today. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Hunters around the country are polishing their guns and preparing mai-mai ahead of duck shooting season, which begins on Saturday. All Blacks outside back Ben Smith is set to return to a settled Highlanders lineup for their match this weekend against the Chiefs in Dunedin. And firefighters battle a blaze which engulfed a home at Waitati this afternoon. Volunteers from Waitati, Waikoiti and Palmerston attended the scene. And now time for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome editor Barry Stewart.
Hello Daryl.
G'day.
The continuing saga between Councillor Lee Vandervis and the council continues. The full scale is revealed in the paper tomorrow, so have a look out for that. The government today made the decision to delay entry to the Pike River mine. Re-entry just 24 hours before hundreds of dignitaries and family were gathered to assemble. So they have pulled out because of unsafe readings inside the mine. So
wow, it's a big call.
Safety is the overriding decision maker in that one. So I guess they have the readings, therefore the decision is made for them. Really, you couldn't risk something like that in that situation. So. On a lighter note, duck shooting season, as mentioned, is about to hit us. And apparently it's going to be great for duck shooting, unpleasant for ducks, certainly unpleasant for ducks, but unpleasant for duck shooters as well. That is how the weather is shaping for much of Otago and Southland for the opening weekend of the season. Demolition of buildings is to begin next month in the obvious first sign of progress to the hospital rebuild in Dunedin. A victim of an alleged assault at an Invercargill school is angry and concerned and scared after the incident, so we have a report on that. Big sports tab tomorrow, of course, being Friday, Lovelock Relay. We have a look at the history of that event, and of course the Highlanders team has been named to play the Chiefs, which will be a pretty important match for them.
Indeed. Cool. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Daryl.
All that and more in tomorrow's Otago Times. Now time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, some great couture in Lower Stewart Street. Looking at the situation, a large anticyclone moves slowly over New Zealand this weekend, bringing a milder northwesterly airflow from Saturday. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport, you should prepare for a couple of clouds and 17-degree highs. Heading across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim, you're also scheduled for clouds and 17 degrees. In Canterbury, you can expect a chance of a few clouds, planned for a high of 15 degrees in Kaikoura, Christchurch, but 1 degree warmer with 16 in Ashburton. In the southern towns, plan for moderate westerlies, clear skies across the region, Vauclutha, Lumsden and Gore should all reach 14 degrees, while the Catlins is one cooler on 13. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, light to moderate winds are the order of the day here. Wanaka, Alexandra, Queenstown and Te Anau, you're all looking at highs of 14 degrees. Up to the northern towns, Tiamaru and Oamaru, you have light winds and clear skies with 14 degrees. Similar conditions in Twizel and Omarama. You both should be prepared for 15. In Dunedin, fine tonight with light westerly winds and an overnight low of 5. Sunny and rather cold tomorrow with southwesterlies dying out and northeast winds developing in the afternoon. Looking at a high of 13 and a low of 5. Fine with high cloud on Saturday with milder moderate northerly winds and a high of 18 with a low of 9. Heading to Invercargill, fine and cold tonight with an overnight low of just 2 degrees, mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with moderate westerly winds and cool temperatures. Expect a 14-degree high and a low of just 5 degrees. Fine with high cloud increasing and thickening on Saturday, moderate to milder northwesterlies. Expect a high of 17 and an overnight low of 9. And that's all from the South Today team for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.